I always believed our marriage was solid. Amelia and I met in college, and from the first date, it felt like we'd been made for each other. She was vivacious, bright, and had this way of lighting up a room without even trying. When we married, it felt like a fairy tale, one of those old-fashioned kinds where the happy ending was assured. But fairy tales, I've come to learn, don't account for reality, especially when reality comes with a handsome man behind a camera lens. We'd been married 7 years. Our daughter, Emma, had just turned 4, and we were in the thick of planning her birthday party, a princess-themed extravaganza complete with balloons, a castle bounce house, and face painting. Amelia insisted on hiring a professional photographer to capture every moment. I didn't think much of it at the time. In fact, I thought it was sweet of her to want to preserve the memories. That morning, Amelia seemed especially flustered. She fussed over her dress more than usual, changed earrings twice, and checked her makeup in the hallway mirror 3 times before we even left the house. I chalked it up to nerves. She always wanted everything perfect for Emma. The photographer, who introduced himself as Kyle, was young, maybe mid-30s, with a confident smile and an easy manner with kids. He had Emma giggling in minutes, coaxing out bright, sparkling laughter I hadn't heard in weeks. I remember feeling grateful, until I noticed the way Amelia kept glancing at him. At first, it was subtle, a quick look, a small smile, lingering a moment too long. I shook it off. But then I saw it again. And again. When I offered her a drink during the party, she barely acknowledged me, eyes fixed on Kyle as he crouched down, camera in hand, catching the perfect angle of Emma blowing out her candles. By the time the sun was setting, I was exhausted. The kids were running on sugar fumes, the last parents were saying their goodbyes, and Amelia was inside helping Kyle pack up his equipment. I walked in to find them standing a little too close near the kitchen island, their conversation hushed. The way he looked at her, it made my chest tighten. I cleared my throat. Amelia nearly jumped, cheeks flushed as if she'd been caught doing something wrong. "Just going over the photos," she stammered. "Of course," I said, smiling thinly. But something had shifted in the air between us. That night, after Emma fell asleep, I tried to talk to Amelia. She was distant, kept her answers short, eyes on her phone more than on me. Eventually, she claimed a headache and went to bed early. I stayed up, staring at the ceiling, trying to shake the unease creeping through me. The next morning, I found a text on her phone while she showered. I wasn't snooping. At least that's what I told myself. It lit up on the nightstand. "Thanks for last night. Can't wait to see you again." My hand shook. My heart pounded so loudly I couldn't hear the water running in the bathroom. When she emerged, wrapped in a towel, she froze at the sight of me holding her phone. "Who is he?" I asked, voice low, trembling. She hesitated, eyes darting around the room like a trapped animal. Then she sighed, slumping against the doorframe. "Kyle." I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. My knees nearly buckled. "How long?" I demanded. "A few weeks," she whispered, unable to meet my gaze. I staggered back, sinking onto the edge of the bed. My mind raced through the days leading up to the party, how she'd been distracted, the sudden urgency about Emma's birthday photos, the unexplained late-night errands. All the pieces fell into place with a sickening clarity. "Was Emma's party, was it just an excuse to see him?" I asked, voice cracking. Tears welled in her eyes. "I don't know. I thought maybe if I saw him one more time, I'd get it out of my system. But when I saw you with Emma, I realized what I was about to throw away." She reached for me, but I recoiled, her hand hovering in the air before falling to her side. The betrayal stung deeper than anything I'd ever felt. My chest burned with a mix of rage, grief, and a hollow kind of disbelief. I couldn't stay in the room. I needed air, space, anything to escape the suffocating knowledge that the woman I trusted with my life had shared herself with another man. I grabbed my keys and left, driving aimlessly through dark, empty streets. I pulled over near the river, parking beneath the soft glow of a street lamp. I remembered all the nights Amelia and I had sat here as newlyweds, whispering dreams of our future. Those memories felt tainted now, each one shadowed by her betrayal. I wanted to scream, to break something, but all I could do was stare at the water and wonder, how could the person I loved most become the one who hurt me the deepest? The night air was cold against my skin, but I barely noticed as I sat in my car by the river. I must have been there for hours, staring at the rippling water while the city lights shimmered on its surface. My phone buzzed a few times, calls and messages from Amelia, but I ignored them all. I wasn't ready to face her. I wasn't ready to hear apologies that couldn't erase what she'd done. By the time I returned home, dawn was breaking. The house was silent. I slipped inside, moving like a ghost. In our bedroom, Amelia was awake, sitting on the edge of the bed, eyes red and swollen from crying. She looked up at me with a kind of desperate hope that made my heart twist. "Where were you?" she asked, voice hoarse. "I needed to think," I said simply. She stood, stepping toward me. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, hands trembling at her sides. I wanted to shout, to rage, to demand why. But all that came out was a choked, "Why him? Why anyone?" She sank to her knees in front of me, sobbing. "I don't know. I wish I could give you an answer that made sense. It was stupid. Selfish. I was feeling invisible, like I was just Emma's mom or your wife, not me. And when Kyle paid attention to me, looked at me like I was special, I got lost in it." Her words stung. I thought about the nights I'd stayed up late finishing work to afford Emma's school, the times I dropped everything to take Amelia on weekend getaways when she said she needed a break. Had I really made her feel invisible? Or was that just what she told herself to justify what she'd done? I pulled a chair over and sat down, staring at the floor. "I don't know how we come back from this." She wiped her tears with the back of her hand. "I want to try. I'll do anything, counseling, whatever it takes. Please, I don't want to lose our family." Family. That word cut deepest of all. Emma was upstairs, blissfully unaware that her mother's affair was tearing our world apart. I thought about our daughter's bright smile, how she needed both of us, how I'd promised to always give her a safe, loving home. But what kind of home could we give her now? I told Amelia I needed space, packed a small bag, and left. For the next few days, I stayed with my brother, confiding in him for the first time about what happened. He listened quietly, offering no judgment, only a place to crash and a fridge stocked with leftovers. It was what I needed, time to think, to feel, without Amelia's eyes on me, silently begging for forgiveness I wasn't ready to give. At night, I scrolled through old photos on my phone. Emma's first steps, our family vacation at the beach, candid shots of Amelia laughing, her hair blowing in the wind. Each picture felt like a cruel joke, a record of a life I thought was unbreakable. I kept wondering when things started to slip, how I missed the signs. After a week, I agreed to meet Amelia at a cafe near the park. She looked tired, worn down, but determined. We sat in awkward silence until I finally spoke. "I don't know if I can ever trust you again," I admitted. She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. "I know. But I'm willing to spend the rest of my life proving that you can." We talked for hours. She told me everything, every text, every meeting. The affair hadn't gone beyond stolen moments and heated kisses in Kyle's studio, but the betrayal felt complete all the same. She swore it ended the night of Emma's party, that seeing me with Emma had snapped her back to reality. A part of me wanted to believe her. Another part screamed that I'd be a fool to trust a word she said. I asked her what she told Kyle after I confronted her. She hesitated. He texted me, trying to get me to meet him again. I told him it was over, that I loved my husband. He called me pathetic. I blocked him. For a moment, I felt a flicker of relief, but it was buried beneath layers of hurt. The wounds were still fresh, too raw to allow any comfort. Over the next few weeks, we tried counseling. The therapist's office felt like a battlefield, each session a struggle between anger, guilt, and a desperate hope to salvage something. Some days, we made progress. Other days, we'd leave in separate cars, unable to look each other in the eye. The hardest part was being around Emma. She'd tug on my hand to show me her drawings or climb into my lap to watch her favorite cartoon. I'd catch Amelia watching us, eyes filled with regret. We were both putting on brave faces for our daughter, but the cracks were there, just beneath the surface. One evening, after Emma fell asleep, Amelia asked if we could talk. We sat in the living room, the quiet almost unbearable. "Do you hate me?" she asked softly. I thought about it. I didn't hate her, but I didn't know if I could love her the same way again. "I don't know," I admitted. "I know I love Emma, and I know I don't want to tear her world apart. But I can't keep pretending everything is okay." She nodded, eyes glistening. "I'll move out if that's what you need." Those words hit me harder than I expected. I realized then that despite everything, a part of me still wanted to fight for us. But I wasn't sure if that part was strong enough. We agreed on a separation, at least until we could figure out if forgiveness was possible, or if it would only poison us both. Amelia found a small apartment nearby, and we worked out a schedule to keep Emma's routine as stable as possible. Every time I dropped Emma off or picked her up, Amelia and I shared a strained politeness, like strangers who once knew everything about each other. Months passed. Therapy continued. Some days, I felt a faint hope flicker. Other days, bitterness threatened to swallow me whole. But in the quiet moments alone, I started to remember the person I was before the betrayal. The father, the man who loved fiercely, who believed in second chances. And maybe, just maybe, I could become him again.